Hi, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Bible Stories, the story of Samuel, Saul, and David. Tonight, we are on the story of Saul and David. Right now, it's Saul and David, so I kind of don't know who to name it for anyway. But anyway, right now we left off. David did the Jew thing and decided to be a traitor. So, right now David is with the Philistines, and Saul is given up searching for David because he is now an enemy. So, let's find out what happens with Jew versus Jew. At this point, they're still mostly Jewish. Um, they haven't been conquered by the Babylonians yet. So they're still mostly Jew. So, chapter 29. Oh, time out real quick. This might go into Samuel 2. So, before we get to that, take your pills. We are way super fucking late. So, take your pills, right? Then, pack you a bowl. Get comfy. Sit back and get comfy. This is about to be a wild ass story. Then, make sure you have your bedtime beverage, your nightly reward for keeping people alive. Mine is still coffee. It's always coffee. I can't have liquor, seizures. So, we have coffee. So, grab whatever you have, and then let's smoke it, drink it, and read it. Okay. So, 1 Samuel 29. Now, the Philistines gathered all their forces at Aphek, while the Israelites were encamped by the fountain that is in Jezreel. This is where David's wife is from. What's her face? As the lord of the Philistines were passing on by hundreds and thousands, David and his men were passing on in the rear with Achish. The commanders of the Philistines said, "The fuck is the Jew doing here, man? This is the enemy, this bad guy." Right? And Achish was like, uh, this is David. He's he's uh he's AWOL. Like, he's on our side now. Like, we don't gotta worry about him. Right? And the commanders were like, fuck no. No, 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 no. Hell no, this guy's gotta go, yo. Like, he's gotta go. This guy's gotta go. Because you know what? If something happens and he decides, like, we're the bad guys, he can just. This is a bad idea. This is a real bad idea. And isn't this the guy that kills thousands in that song, tens of thousands? Like, there's a fucking song about this guy. No. No, 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 no. He's a super Jew. Okay, so he's a super Jew. And then Achish told David, listen, you know, these guys, like, they're no bueno, right? So, like, they said you can't go. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not even you. It's them. Right? They're the ones that are denying you the chance to beat that ass. It is not me. So, so listen, you gotta go home. I mean, you got to. Like, you gotta go home. You can't stay here. So, like, in the morning, you gotta go. And then David's like, the fuck? You're just like Saul. Saul keeps trying to kill me, and then you won't let me fight him. It's like, what the fuck, man? And then Keisha's like, listen, I can't do nothing. It's these guys. I told you, it's these guys. So, like I said, tomorrow morning, you got a G to the Ed out, yo. Right? So, the next morning, David gets up and goes into the land of the Philistines. But the Philistines went up to Jezreel. This is where David's wife is from. And the Philistines are about to go pillage where this woman's from. So, chapter 30. Now, after 3 days, David and his men make it to where they're at, right? Because they're in Ziklag. And the Amalekites had came and pillaged the city, right? Burned it to the ground. They took captive all the women and all who were in it, both small and great. They didn't kill nobody. They just took them. They was like, hey, this is good meat, right? And when David and his men came into the city, they found it burned to the ground. Burn it down. Right. So they found it burned down. And their wives and sons and daughters, everybody is taken captive. So it's like, oh, we're so tired. Oh, wait, we're not at that part yet. It's like, we're so sad. Yeah, that's what it is. We're about, right here. Then David and the people who were with him raised their voices and wept so much they had no strength. They was like, I'm so tired. So tired of crying, right? So David's 2 wives had also been taken captive. Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, Nabal's wife, ex-wife, widow. She's the widow of Nabal. David was in great danger, for the people spoke of stoning him, because all the people were bitter in spirit for their sons and daughters. But David was like, fuck these guys, ain't got nothing to do with it. Big guy, help me out. Big guy, you help him, right? Okay. So, and these people are just as guilty as David, though. They didn't say either. So fuck them. Fuck these guys. David said to Abiathar, bring me the ephod. So Abiathar was like, here's your sleeveless dress. I mean, shirt. David inquired of the Lord, shall I pursue this band? Shall I overtake them? And God's like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. You're about to fight. It's going to be fun. You're going to win. You know, because you're my right hand man. I need you alive. Yeah, I need you happy. Of course I'm going to help you. Right? So David set out, he and the 600 men who were with him. They came to the Wadi Basor. Those who stayed, who, wait. Okay, so they went to the Wadi where those stayed who were left behind. That is a stupid ass fucking sentence. Where those stayed who were left behind. Yeah, but it doesn't. This is the stupidest sentence. I hate this sentence. This sentence can suck it. I hate this sentence. I hate it. Okay. But went David went on with the pursuit. He and 400 men. 200 stayed behind, too exhausted to cross the Wadi. In the open country, they found an Egyptian and brought him to David. They gave him bread and he ate. They gave him water to drink. They also gave him some fig cake and 2 clusters of raisins. When he had eaten, his spirit revived, for he had not eaten bread or drank water for 3 days and 3 nights. Then David said, "What's up? Who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing? Why are you here?" And he said, I'm an Egyptian. I am a servant of the Amalekite. My master left me behind because I fell sick 3 days ago. It was like fate. We had made a raid on the Negeb of the Kerethites and on which belongs to Judah, and on the Negeb of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag down. David said to him, "Will you take me down to this guy?" And he said, "You swear to fucking God you're not going to kill me or hand me over to the man to kill me. If you pinky promise, I'll take you down there." So he had taken them down. They were spread out all over the ground, eating, drinking, and dancing because of the great amount of spoil they had taken from the land of the Philistines and from the land of Judah. David attacked them from twilight until the evening of the next day. Not one of them escaped, except 400 young men who mounted camels and fled. David recovered all that the Amalekites had taken, and David rescued his 2 wives. Yup. Nothing was missing, whether small or great, sons or daughters. Spoil pretty much anything that had been taken. David brought back everything, right? David also captured all the flocks and herds which were driven ahead of the other cattle. People said, "This is David's spoil." Then David came to the 200 men who had been too exhausted to follow David, who had been left at the Wadi. They went out to meet David and to meet the people who were with him. When David drew near to the people, he saluted them. Like, "Fuck yeah, we won, check it out." Then all the corrupt and worthless fellows among the men who had gone with David said, "They shouldn't get shit. They ain't go." Yeah, no, let them take their shit and go. And then David was like, the fuck no. What the Lord has given us, he has preserved us, handed over to us, the raiding party that attacked us. Who would listen to you in this matter? For the share of the one who goes to battle shall be the same as the share of one who stays by the baggage. They share alike. From that day forward, he made a statute and an ordinance for Israel. It continues to the present day. Does it, though? The Jews have a problem with changing the rules. I bet there's some kind of thing in there now that says only if it's approved by billions of miles of red tape. When David came to Ziklag, he sent part of the spoil to his friends. The elders of Judah said, "Ha ha, here you go. Yup, this is some of the shit they took from you. And this is all the names of the places. And it's all the places where David and his men had roamed." Have you read it? I'm not reading it. Okay, we've read it. All right, next is chapter 31. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled before the Philistines. Many fell on Mount Gilboa. The Philistines overtook Saul and his sons. The Philistines killed Jonathan, Abinadab, Malchishua, the sons of Saul. The battle pressed hard upon Saul. The archers found him, and he was badly wounded. Then Saul said to his armor bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust me through, so that these uncircumcised may not come and thrust me through and make sport of me." But this armor bearer was unwilling, for he was terrified. So Saul took his own sword and fell upon it. Remember this whole part. When his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell upon his own sword and died with him. So Saul and his 3 sons and his armor bearer and all his men died together on the same day. But I'm not sure about Abner. Just wait. When the men of Israel who were on the other side of the valley and those beyond the Jordan saw the men of Israel had fled and Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook their towns and fled, and the Philistines came and occupied them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the dead, they found Saul and his 3 sons on Mount Gilboa. They cut off his head, stripped off his armor, sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to carry the good news. This is no bueno. To the houses of their idols and to the people. They put his armor in the temple of Astarte. She's part of the Baals. And they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan. But when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men set out, traveled all night long, and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshan. Hold on. They fastened his body. Okay, it doesn't say their bodies. But anyway, They took their bodies and they came to Jabesh and burned them there. When then they took their bones and buried them under the tamarisk tree and Jabesh and mourned or fasted for 7 days. Oh my God. All right. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. Okay. We're going into Second Samuel to get farther in the story. So, we're going to Second Samuel chapter 1. Yeah. All right, here we go. After the death of Saul, when David had returned from defeating the Amalekites, David remained 2 days in Ziklag. So he didn't even stay for the restoration. He's like, I got stuff to do. On the third day, a man from Saul's camp. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was just talking about this the other day. Oh my God. I wish I could. Ooh, I wish. Oh, I'm going to go back in my videos because this is the first time somebody is rubbing dirt on his head. Because first it was just you ripped your clothes off. And then it was ripping your clothes off and dumping ashes on your head. Now it's they're putting dirt on their head. This is the first time that this is mentioned. And when he came to David, he did the face thing, right? And David said, "The fuck, dude?" And he said, "I've escaped from the company. No, I've escaped from the camp of Israel." See, I'm reading too fast. So I'm reading it before I'm saying it. David said to him, "How did things go? What's up? Tell me." He said, "The army fled from the battle, but also many of the army fell, and they died. Saul and his son Jonathan also died." He doesn't even bother saying the other two, but he's saying Jonathan died. Because they know Jonathan and David were in love. Everybody knew that apparently. Then David asked the young man who was reporting to him, "How do you know that Saul and Jonathan died?" And the young man said, "I happened to be on Mount Gilboa, and there was Saul leaning on his spear, while the chariots and the horsemen drew close. And he looked behind me and saw me, and called to me, and I answered, 'Here, sir.' He said, 'Who are you?' And I said, 'I'm an Amalekite.' And he said, 'Come over here and kill me, for convulsions have seized me, yet my life still lingers.' So I stood over him and killed him, for I knew that he could not live after he had fallen. I took the crown that was on his head and the armlet that was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my lord." This guy! But I think, no, because Saul said, "Kill me." Okay, so this is my next part. See, so, okay. David took hold of his clothes and tore them. All the men who, oh, David took his clothes and ripped his clothes off, and all the men who were with him did the same. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and Jonathan, and for the army of the Lord, and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. David said to the young man who reported him, Where do you come from?" And he said, "I am the son of I'm an Amalekite. And then David said, weren't you scared? That was God's guy. And then David called to one of the young men and said, strike him down. And he died. See, because David didn't want to be a killer, so why'd you kill this guy? Because he was buttsore about his lover. There was no reason for this. Like, absolutely no reason. He tries to justify it later. But really, this was senseless. And you put senseless blood on somebody else's hands because you want to be an asshole. See, I don't... The more I read this Bible, the more I don't like these main characters. I had this same problem when I read the Apostles. I had this same problem because the more I read about them, the more it's like, no, these people suck. Even the heroes, they kind of suck too. Okay. David said, your blood be on your head, for your own mouth has testified against you, saying, I have killed the Lord's anointed. No, that's not what he said. That's not even close to what he said. Saul said, kill me. See, I don't like this. I don't like this guy. David. I had the same problem with the Psalms. It's like, David, you do things like this and then you write heartfelt psalms like you're a sissy. But then you do things like this, you're a murderer. But okay. Turns out Peter's a murderer too. But shut up, Nikki. We're not that far. We already read that. We need to read it again. So shut up, Nikki. Okay. Okay. So David intoned this lamentation over Saul and his son Jonathan. He ordered that the song of the bow be taught to the people of Judah. It is written in the book Jashar. Oh, what book is this? I've heard this book before. We're going to search it and find out. The Book of Jasher. Is this the Bible book? The Mosaic period of the Bible, presented in Genesis, Exodus, Number. I thought this was called the Torah or something. Isn't... I don't know what this is. Wait a minute. The Book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher. Is this more Old Testament books that we gotta read? Oh my God. Listen. I've had so much of the Old Testament. Listen. Oh man. Okay. Our glory, O Israel, lies slain upon your high places. How the mighty have fallen. Is this really where that comes from? Wow. Tell it not in Gath. Proclaim it in the streets of Ashkelon. Or the daughters of the Philistines will rejoice. The daughters of the uncircumcised will exult. You mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew or rain upon you, nor bounteous fields, for there the shield of the mighty was defiled. The shield of Saul, anointed with oil no more. From the blood of the slain, from the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan did not turn back, nor the sword of Saul return empty. Saul and Jonathan, beloved and lovely. In life and death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, stronger than lions. O daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothed you with crimson and luxury and put ornaments of gold on your apparel. How the mighty have fallen in the midst of battle. Jonathan lies slain upon your high places. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Greatly beloved were you to me. Your love to me was as wonderful, passing the love of a woman. Bomb diggity bam basket right there. Right there. Yes, right there. Your love to me was wonderful, passing the love of a woman. How's that not gay? How the mighty have fallen and the weapons of war perished. Okay, we're going to stop right there. 2 Samuel 1. Yay! Yay, that is the death of Saul. So, yay. And we did pretty good. It's only 32 minutes. We did a really good job. So, thank you for watching. I love you and have the greatest day ever.